We are honored to welcome our honorary guest, the chair of the European region of World Physiotherapy, Esther-Mary D'Arcy, a true advocate for the profession, representing leadership, unity, and progress across Europe.
Pleasant day to you, I hope. That's why I had to put my glasses on. President D'Arcy and the board of the Albanian Association of Physiotherapy, thank you very much for the kind invitation to be here in person. This is my first time in person. In previous congresses, I appeared or half appeared, according to the internet. So it's lovely to be here with you in this beautiful city of Tirana. And on behalf of the European region of World Physiotherapy, thank you for being a member with us. We are delighted to have the Albanian Association as a member. We are a very valued member, and indeed a member of our World Professional Organisation, which it's so important to be part of. We are one global community of physiotherapists. Thank you to the Congress Committee. It's a very exciting programme. I love the idea that you have an international day and a national day where you're promoting many of our speakers across Europe, and a day in which you promote your own speakers. So that's a lovely combination. The whole programme is really going to enhance, I think, many areas of physiotherapy and many approaches of physiotherapy. And for all of you who are here, it will enhance the toolbox that you have, the tools of the toolbox that you can have for your patients, so that when they come to you, that you have a wider selection in your toolbox from which to choose a wonderful array of physiotherapy treatments. I know that congresses are difficult to organise, and those of you who may not have ever been involved in organising a conference, I want to tell you how hard it is. So the Congress Committee needs a great round of applause and support from all of you. So on behalf of all of us, Fallon Min Dorit, I hope I wish, as a member organisation of the Albanian Association, to really acknowledge the work that the association does. Again, it takes a lot of work. All of these people volunteer. They give their time, and indeed some actually finance this organisation. So I want to emphasise to you that the European region absolutely supports the need for a separate order of physiotherapy in Albania. Currently you're part of the nursing order. These are two separate professions. You don't need me to tell you that, but you are entitled to your order. And I am very conscious of how hard the Physiotherapy Association is working to achieve this order. And I know that many of you have left the association because you're dissatisfied that this isn't moving quickly enough. And I am appealing to you today to come back and to join the association, because the power is in the numbers. And 80 members out of perhaps 5,000 to 6,000 physiotherapists in Albania is not going to be enough to get the order. The association needs your support. 5,000 to 6,000 physiotherapists calling for an order for physiotherapy will help. So I am asking all of you today who are not members to join, And all of you are here who are joining to go and bring in at least 4 more colleagues into the association. That's an order. I think that the citizens of Albania deserve, like the citizens of every country in Europe, deserve high quality, evidence-based physiotherapy. And this is what you have here today. Your attendance is part of your continuing professional development and should be recognised by your country, by your attendance here. As I come to the end of my term of chair and stepping down, I suppose I have a few reflections. So I'm going to be a little bit preachy. I used to be very polite, but now that I'm getting to the end, I'm getting very preachy. So my reflections on the profession are from sort of A to E. I'm not going to take you through the whole alphabet, but we'll stop at E. So the first thing that I've noticed over the years of both my own professional career and everyone else's is A for assessment. No matter what type of physiotherapy you're using, what model, what approach, what technique, I believe that the most important aspect of it is the assessment. And we owe it to our patients, I think, to have a detailed, holistic assessment. And no matter how small your specialty is in physiotherapy, the assessment needs to be a holistic and thorough assessment, because that's really what determines the treatments that we choose for our patients, and the outcomes will be better. In terms of B, I'm moving to behaviour, and I'm talking about professional behaviour. I have a huge interest in this area and have always had. And I think as well as developing our clinical skills, we must always be conscious of our behavioural skills and of being a professional. And part of being a professional is actually being part of your professional association. You know, you don't have to love the association, but you're better to be in criticising it than outside criticising it. So please be part of your professional association. The other B I would use is the biopsychosocial approach, and I am a firm believer in this. In, again, whatever technique, whatever method we are using in physiotherapy, that is the approach that really brings about the best outcomes. We are in a partnership, patient-centred approach with our patients as well. And C, I come to compassion, because we are a compassionate profession, and we need compassionate leadership, we need compassionate work and care with our patients, and we need to be compassionate with one another. While I have, in the main, seen great care that we take of one another, I am saddened sometimes to see how we treat one another as colleagues. We all have our different areas of physiotherapy that we specialise in. No one is better than another, but we respect the differences and we treat our colleagues with compassion, as our orders must and our associations must as well. So I put out a plea that we treat one another well and put aside personal differences for the good of the profession. The other C I would see is continuing professional development. I've mentioned it a little bit. That's why you're here today. It's, you know, sometimes I think when we move from being a student to being a graduate, I know that was hundreds of years ago for me, but that's when you really begin to learn, and you learn all your life. So those of you who are qualified 10 years, you're not using the same aspects of physiotherapy that you used 5 years ago, and the profession is developing so quickly, we have to change and evolve. So continuing professional development is mandatory for all of us. For D, I'm choosing documentation, because I know certainly my regulatory body in Ireland is very hot on documentation. And it's absolutely necessary for so many reasons. We're doing good assessments, We need to document all those findings. We need them for the patient. We need them in case the patient takes an action against us. No notes, no defense. And we also need them for research and data. We've got to continue to prove what we do, and if we don't have the documentation, we won't have the data. And lastly, moving on to E, I have a few E's. Evidence-based, that's evident in itself. Evaluating our patient and re-evaluating. Sometimes I think we assess, we treat, but we forget to actually evaluate and sometimes to re-evaluate and to change our treatment if it's not working. We've also, I think, got to empower our patients. I would put less emphasis on educating our patients because our patients know and they can find information on the internet. What we need to do is to empower them to change their behaviour, to take up a more active lifestyle, to take on a home exercise program. It's not simply about giving it to them and expecting them to do it. And also to embrace new developments, to be open to them. Not all of them will work. Sometimes I get asked questions about AI and things. You know, it's another tool in our toolbox. It won't take over physiotherapy. It will replace some of it, but it won't take it over. So we need to embrace these aspects and incorporate them into our treatments rather than criticizing them and ignoring them, because we can't ignore them. I'm now jumping from E to V, and I just want to come a little bit to volunteerism, and this will be the end of my preaching, right? But I want to appeal to you to volunteer. All of the people in the organisation volunteer, the scientific committee volunteers, and we've lots of student volunteers. Can I have hands up from all the students who are present? Let's see how many students we have, even if you're not volunteering. Lots of hands up, let me see. Good, good, okay, a few more students. Great, some up here, good, good. Delighted to see you, thank you for being here. Don't forget to put it on the CV that you attended. That puts you at a difference, as I said to the others, from those who didn't attend. And I hope to see you in the future as graduates here. Well, maybe it'll be another time. So I want to increase volunteerism because our profession needs it. It can't develop without it. So I want all of you to get involved and to volunteer, and also to appreciate that everything that's happening here today is due to volunteers and who have worked for the last 8 months to bring this conference to here today, to you, for the benefit of you as physiotherapists. So please join in and help. I'm looking forward to that fantastic array of speakers, and thank you again for being here, and thank you for having me, and Fala Mindin Ture. Thank you.